you? My name is Anthony Gray. Welcome to another episode of Grayscale Painting. Today we're going to do a floral on a black background. This is 11 by 15 inch. It's the backing of the watercolor paper. It's just cardboard. Alright, and I just put black paint over it. No other treatment. Just took a white pencil and sketched out 5 petals. Alright. Okay. Directional patterns doing a hibiscus. Trying to make it appear to be just popping right out of the black. Alright. Like I said, I do have the white pencil there. It shows you the initial sketch of the flower here. Okay. The little circle here is where the flower kind of disappears and kind of pops out of, and where the main stamen would be, whatever direction I want to put the stamen. But right, what's going to be important is the flow of the petals. They all have kind of a bend, but they're all going to a similar point, as you can see. Alright, so it all has a nice little bow going into that center. Alright, no matter what color you choose to paint the flower, the strokes should be emanating from the center point. Okay, now the center point doesn't necessarily have to be black. Alright, but it has to be a darker color, and it emanates this way into the light where they will be seen. Alright, okay, so we'll take it all as a whole. Okay, and we'll do stuff from there. Alright, when the screen switches over, you'll see I only have 3 colors so far. White, red, and blue. Ironically, the same colors as the American flag. I try to stay away from those colors unless I'm doing something specifically in a kind of red, white, and blue nature, I guess. I'm gonna be most of this painting probably will be done with the 1/2 inch brush. I'll show it to you right here. All right. Okay. Right now, because painting something on the black background instantly, whatever the color is going to be, it's going to pop out because black is such a recessive color, meaning it kind of sucks things in. All right. Okay. So what I am going to do before we do any of that, let's just take a 3/4 inch flat. I'll show that to you also. This fella, and we're just going to lightly coat glycerin to either coat the canvas, or I'll mix it in with the paint to keep the paint lucid and it's easier to blend. But what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do it on the flower. I'm just going to use the glycerin. Glycerin is highly reflective, so you should be able to see it. But I'm going to put the glycerin on the outside here, outside of the initial flower, because I'm going to put some petals in here. The petals will be pretty much surrounding the flower. Okay, the petals will be very mysterious. They're just going to hang around, and we'll use some you'll see. I'm gonna use a transparent color, and you'll understand what I mean by that. I'm only using a very little bit of glycerin. A very little bit of glycerin goes a very long ways. Okay, and this stuff, it takes a little while for it to dry. Depends on the temperature of your room. Alright, but it stays right there on top of this coated surface. Okay, so it's not going to soak through as readily, because there's a barrier now between the actual cardboard and the glycerin. Alright, so it's going to stay there. It's going to bead a little bit and whatever, but that's okay. Alright, that's about all I should need of this brush, as far as I know. Okay, let's have a little fun. Let's take a transparent color, which was this very dark blue. What I mean by transparent color, you're going to see right now, is that when I put the color on, it will still appear black. See that? Just like so. That's all I have to do is really lightly coat this with blue. That's all. And we're going to do the rest with white and blue. This is a very simple way to achieve very good effects very fun. You can be very creative. All right, I'm just showing you the technique how to do it. You can go pretty much from here. All right, and all I gotta do is lightly coat this black area with the blue. The glycerin is helping it move all around and all of that. So like I say, this is the type of painting, very simple to do, very simple and fun. And there you go, there you have it. All right, let me clean off the other brush real quick. It's just got glycerin on it. Water will take glycerin off your brush, and it'll clean up your canvas too in a snap of an eye, very fast. Let's take now a little bit of white. Look at me down here. I'll put the white. I'll move this over a little bit. I'll just put it right here. Okay. And I'm gonna take a little bit of blue, put it into the white, just like that. All right. I don't necessarily have to add blue into this white. I just did it in general purposes. We're gonna start putting petals all over the place. We'll start one right here, just like that. I'll start wide, and we'll just bring it on to a point like so. All right. Technically, I don't have to add any blue to it. I'll show you an example a little later on. And right now, I'll just nicely put in some nice petal shapes, just like this. And I'll do the same thing over here. Just like that. Now, even that might be a little bit too light. Okay, look down here with me. Let's go here. Let's go here. I'll put it right here. I'll take it just like that, just white by itself. And then I'll just make more leaf patterns with just the white paint. It's going to pick that blue up, as you can see. Just like that. Okay. A little bit more white. It's going to be contaminated with the blue, and that's fine. I'll put one right here. Some of them will overlap. We're going to have some that overlap. We're going to have all sorts of things going on. And I'll overlap this one, is fine. Different batches, different shades. See, it's just picking up that blue. That's all it's doing. I'll come here, just like that, and just bring it in like that. Get another touch of white. And I'll just kind of put it in there. We'll have leaves going, pretty much surrounding the hibiscus. Just like that. I'll get some blue, put it into the white, just darken the, or lighten the blue just a little bit. And we'll put one coming this way, just like that, and we'll kind of get it wide here. So it's just different variations, different colors of the same, just like that. And we're just gonna saturate a bunch of leaves of different variations, different colors of blue. Okay, a little bit more, a little darker blue. Every time I put it into this white, it's going to pick up the characteristics of the previous color, which is white. Okay, and it's fine. But come here, just like that. Don't be afraid to overlap your leaves. We're going to add our highlights and such to these fellows, just like that. Okay, and we're just going to have fun. We're going to just do more of the same all over the place. We'll have one come here like this, just like that. You're gonna paint these like the tape isn't there. Okay, just like that. We're not gonna totally make the black disappear. We'll come here and do the same thing. Get it narrow, gets wide around in here, and you just have a little fun with these leaves, just like that, just like so. Just have fun with it. They will get more refined as we move along. We'll have one come this way like that, and it gets thick here, gets a little thin here, just like that. Let's have it overlap there. It comes through this way. This will all make sense gradually. I'm just using more of the dark blue, and we'll have one facing down this way, just like that, and we'll just kind of put them in there like that. Put it right in there. All sorts of different colors of the same color, different variations. I'll get a little touch of white, put it in there, and we'll tease one right here in the corner going upward like that. Just like that. Actually, that one could be done a little bit better. Let's straighten that out a little bit better. Just like that. I'm gonna bring it in this way, just like that. Oh, I think we can have one coming this way here, just like that, and having a good time with it, just like this. Okay, just like that. Now we're gonna start streamlining and making these a little more appealing. We're just gonna brighten up the blue. Okay. All right. And we'll just start picking and choosing what I want to kind of stand out. We'll press, pull, and release like that. Just like this. We'll start streamlining some of these colors. Like that. And just pick a side where you want them brighter. Just like that. And remember, when you use a bright color, it kind of sticks out at you there. And so I'm just picking and choosing what I want bright, what I don't want so bright. Just like that. Important to have that center line going through there. I'm turning my brush around as I'm doing them. Okay. We'll highlight this guy right here, just like that. Press, pull, release. Just like so. All right. That black in the background is helping that stuff kind of shoot right out. Okay. Oh, yeah, we'll play with this one too, right here. They're all going in pretty much the same direction. Just like so. Okay. All right. There's a few more little aspects I can add in here and there. I'll pop one right in here like this. Just like so. And well, just like that. Just a hint of some of those colors. Let's go this way with it. Press and go in. Coming right on in there like that. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna take some of this dark blue. We'll darken in some of these fellas back here just a little bit. We'll just kind of subdue a few of these, just like that. Now we'll kind of come on in here, but kind of bring that out there in the back. Do the same thing with this fella here. We'll kind of subdue some of those in the back there, just like that. Bring it in there, and we'll bring it up there. Some of them will be in shadow. Some of them will really just pop out there out of nowhere. So we'll be building up on some of these guys as we're doing them. I'm going to get a little bit of maroon. So I'm getting a little bit of red, put it into the blue, just deepening the color here. You just come around, you can see, I should have flipped the camera around by now. You get to see what I'm doing here. Putting a little glycerin into the paint, just to move the paint around a little bit. Okay, now, like some of these guys here in the back, I can kind of, see that? Kind of put them in shadow a little bit. Just darken them a little bit there. That's all. So I can start building different values and playing around with it, and just like so. I don't have to smother everything. There we go. Some of these fellas back here can be kind of surrounded in a little bit of that darkness there. Just like so. Just like that. Bring it right in there. Cover some of those guys up there. A little solid color. Just like that. Some of these guys are in the background, a little more mysterious. Cover some of those guys up there, just like that. So you're kind of building up your light colors, you're building up your shadows, just like so. Put it right in there. Just like that. I can go on the opposite, just reversing it, just like that. Smooth them out. All right. So some are receding, some are coming forward. So don't get discouraged if it's not exactly looking like the way you're planning it in your mind. It will work for you. It will happen. This is where the black is working for you here, and that black color is working for you. Okay, so once again, don't be discouraged. Yes, I'm going over some of them that were too light. You can always build up this stuff, and you're also making shadows for the petals once they're put in here. All right, I'm taking some of that blue, more blue, the tiniest bit of white in that blue. We get some residual highlights going in some of these, and all you need really is a little flick on the edge there, just like that. Little taps of darker blue in the dark plants there. And all you need is a very little bit of the dark blue and it helps your eyes kind of travel around and see where these things are going. Just like that. You only need a little bit, little hint of that residual light off the darker plants. You don't need too many of them. You don't need too much. Only off the edge, like so. It's like that. Maybe a little bit off it here. Yes, slow it on some of them. Don't need too much. I'm getting some deep blue, and you really just pick and choose where you want to have some of these guys going, just like that. Basically, I'm just getting rid of a lot of that stark white area. I can kind of put it in here like that, and then return those strokes. So it brings it all together. You can always bring it right back here. So get a nice little bit of uniformity going in there on a couple of them. All right. Okay. Not as daunting as you would figure it would be. I'm going to kind of smooth in a little bit of those leaf colors. Some of the striations might be a little thick. I can just take a soft brush and really just blend them into that color, going in the direction of the stroke. And you're just gonna soften those edges a little bit. Make it nice and soft and blend them in there. Wherever I might feel is the color is a little, it's not sharp, it's too sharp, just kind of blend it and smooth it a little bit. There we go. So you can blend light into dark, dark into light. Just marry them in there. Make very interesting smooth shapes. Okay. Because the paint is still somewhat wet, you can still maneuver it. Alright. So long as the paint is a little wet, it's still maneuverable. And you can get away with doing a lot of that. Okay. I don't really need too much happening there. The big standout will be the petals here. Alright. We're going to go back to our 3/4 inch just to cover, do a lot of the major covering of the flower itself. Alright. So for this flower, I'll probably use a little bit of pink. So I'll get plenty of red, get more white. Alright. I'll probably go a little bit maroon for a second. So let's go over here. Let's get a deep maroon, a bluish red color here going. This should be okay. Let's go in here. Let's go in the center. Right in here. Right there in the center. Just like that. Right? Now what we're going to do with this center, if we're going to represent this center as being the darkest part, we're going to take the center and we're going to flare out. It gets more in the middle, but we're going to flare it out like that. Flare it right out. We're going to do each petal like that. Each separate petal. This one here would pretty much go this way, out. As it goes towards the center, it gets taller. Then it kind of narrows out like that. Each one has this. Here has one toward the middle, and it kind of flares out. It might look a little confusing for right now, but it won't once we start separating each and every petal. Okay. And we can also take this very same technique and we can go in reverse with it. Remember, it gets a little more in the middle and it flares out. And believe it or not, I think I just about covered every one. I know it looks a little crazy right now, but it's going to make sense in a few seconds. We're going to take a little bit of white. We're going to go more into that little area, kind of get it kind of pinkish. A little more white. And we get a little glycerin, loosen up this paint just a little bit. And we're going to do it a petal at a time. All right, let's get the one closest to us, this fella right here. And what we're going to do, I'm going to just press, and you're going to go inward, inward, just like that. This is just one petal so far, and we're going to go inward, and we're going to bring it in like that. Same with this fella. We'll bring them in like that. Okay. Just like so. Now, you see that little connection there between this lighter color and that deeper color? It's going to get deeper as it dries. Alright. It's kind of what you're looking for right now. But there's going to be a certain bowing, a certain bending movement. But we'll do that more or less when we get to the smaller half-inch brush. But that's the first petal. That petal kind of pops out there. You got the little edges there. All right, we'll do this petal next. We're gonna pretty much try to keep with the same color scheme, that light pinky color. Get a little bit of red there. A little bit of glycerin, kind of loosen up this paint, keep it flowing for a little bit. Very, very little glycerin into the paint. Okay. And once again, we're going to do the same thing. We're coming this way this time and going in, press, and it's still that kind of a circular motion there. Try to get it to meet, just like so. I'm turning the brush over. We're going to curve that guy inward, just like that. Bring it in, bring it in, bring it right in there, just like that. Okay. And we're gonna marry all that together. So not all will be lost like you would figure. It won't. Those striations that you see me doing here, very important. Okay. Remember, your darkest spot will be in here. All right. Getting a little more white, putting it into this very pinkish color, get a little bit more red. Get a little glycerin, loosen up this paint. But down here, you see what I'm doing here. Okay. All right. Let's make this one on top of this one. And so we're going to go to the edge. We're going to come on in just like that. We'll make him a little taller. Make him pop above the other fellows. Just like that. Curve it in. Curve it in. Curve it in. Curve him in just like that. So he's in front of that one. Okay. You see how that goes? Okay. So things are gonna this is going to be behind that petal. All right. So maybe I'll get this one a little darker red. He's going to be behind the other petal. All right, so we're going to come here, right in here. It's like that. He's a little darker. Just like that. All right, and the other one might be a little bit darker too. We're going to kind of curve him in like this. Those striations, very important. And we'll put one right here, like that. Have him come in, just like that. He's a little darker. They're going to be behind the other guys. Now there's actually two petals here. I'll just give them a little something there. All right, but these two are behind the other ones. But you'll see that more and more. Let's get that center a little darker, because now it's becoming flatter, even though it is darker, but it's not like it's not a deeper dark color. We're going back to our 1/2 inch brush. Little touch of glycerin. I'm going into this deep maroon once more, and I'm going to add a little more blue into the maroon. Get a little bluer purple. Right here in the center here, wherever you might want the stamen to be. Okay, I know we got a little curve here, probably a little curve of something right in here. Not this guy though, not necessarily. So we're gonna kind of keep it right in there with these two fellas. We'll separate that right there. Okay, but we're gonna have to come out like this, just like that. See that? Yeah, now can you see the darkness now? See how it starts to open up now? There. We're going to get that dark again. And we're just going to stroke some of those nice colors back out like that. And we'll get a nice little separation where the two leaves are separated. The two petals are separated right there. Something like that. We're gonna work with all of that. We're gonna kind of bring this out a little bit more, just like that. There, that petal comes out a little bit more. That recedes a little better. We're gonna kind of put a nice little shadow in here too. We're gonna build off of this. There, add that little shadow in there. A little bit of shadow here too, because this petal's a little bit in the background, a little bit like that. And this fella can be covered a little bit with the darkness. When I say darkness, I'm not necessarily meaning black, but we can kind of separate the front petals and the other petals that are catching a little more light. So you can pick and choose what petals you want to be: super dark, half dark, full dark. All right, so stuff is starting to kind of come together here. All right, okay. Now, we can start using super bright colors to kind of highlight certain aspects of these petals. So we're going to take it each petal at a time here. All right, for right now. So let's start with this fella right here. Now, if you're looking at the edges here, actually the edges are kind of they're kind of segmented. So some are going to catch more light, some are not. All right. So let's go into our white. Let's continue with this little pinky color red in here. Okay, we're gonna get plenty of this white. We're gonna get this pinky color. Get a little bit of glycerin here. Loosen up that paint. All right. So we got a nice high point here. And we're gonna just give it a press, drag, overlap a little bit. Just like that. And we're gonna get those striations in there like that. And we're gonna do another one right here. Press. And just fade them out a little bit like that. And this one here, maybe just a little flick right there, like that. I want these a little smoother, so we'll just kind of blend that in there. A little softly. Blend it in. That's like that. Same thing with this fella, a little soft. Keep rubbing in the same spot a little bit. All right. Right here. We're going over here. Like that. And we'll get a nice one here. Press. And we'll overlap a little bit. Just like that. Take my blender and kind of soften some of those edges there, so they don't have to be too abrupt. Kind of guide it in there a little bit. See that? Very gradual. Right here, we'll kind of give them a little bend. Just like that. Just like that. All right. And we're just kind of highlighting, not every one. Very smooth. This is not necessarily the final highlight. Remember, you gotta give it a chance to dry. Okay. It might look white, but it's not totally white. Okay, we're gonna do the same thing with our shadow colors also. Everything's a building process, even with a simple flower. Oh, some of these can do for maybe a nice folding petal, but we'll see as we go along here. So, like I say, I'm just building up little peaks of color here and there, where I feel that it might benefit, where it might need it. Just like so. Some of these fellas in here, right in here, I can kill some of those hard edges, just like so. Just like that. Let's soften those edges a little bit. Right now, that's just a lot of water and paint, so it turns into kind of a glaze, but it gets rid of a lot of those hard edges. Okay, you want them kind of gradual. All right. I'm going into my maroon color. A little bit of medium in there. It turns it into a glaze. And now I can start kind of manipulating edges and shadowing certain spots. Now as I'm adding some of this shadow color to it, it recedes some of that brightness, but it's not overpowering all of it. Just like so. Alright. So it kills some of that overbearing brightness, but it's not getting rid of some of those undertones. Alright. Now you can have your fun shadowing and shading. I'm getting some more maroon here. It's more glycerin than the color. And now you can start glazing little shadow spots in there. See this? See what you can do? And I'm just glazing some shadow in there. See, some of those petals will recede, some of them will stand out. Some will recede, some will stand out. This is part of the fun of glazing. You're not getting rid of all of the undertones. Okay, but you know, stuff that might be a little too overpowering, you can tone it right down. It's all right. See that? And you can make them gradual, make them strong, make them subtle. Really up to you. But you see how certain petals are now being receded back, but you still see those some of the brightness in there. And if it's too bright, you just kind of, you know, subdue them a little bit. That's all. But in doing such things, you're really bringing out all different values and tones that you possibly couldn't get otherwise without doing a whole lot of painstaking work. Okay, but you're starting to see what petals stick out, which petals are receding back there. Okay, so as I'm working at it here, we're gonna start. I'm just working on the shadow part now. A little bit of glycerin and a little touch of the maroon color. So some of these guys I can kind of redirect, like so. Just like that. But still keeping that rounded type of look to it. Okay. All right. Now the only thing I really didn't give much credence to is this in here. At least not yet. But we'll get there with that fellow. Let's go back into our color, our little pinky red. We're gonna get some more red. Mix a little white into it. A little bit of glycerin, just a little bit. All right. And we'll start getting some edges in there. We'll start here. You know, kind of put a nice little fold in there like that. And I think that would be fine for one kind of petal curved in a little bit. And that would be fine. Oh, we can probably get some of these guys out here. Kind of put it in there a little bit like that. Maybe give them a little rim of color there. It's a slight push, and a little guide in there. Slight rim of color there. Just kind of guide that in like that. All right, I'm just getting a little more red. I'm going into this little pink area here. A slight touch of white in there. This is more paint than anything. And maybe a slight push. We'll put it in there like that. And we'll do it right here. With a slight push, and we'll kind of guide some of that in there. it kind of recedes some of that brighter color just a little bit, just like that. Just like that. We'll bring it in a little further into that dark area, just like that. You're not necessarily getting rid of all that bright, but this darker color kind of put it into this darker orangish color. You get to smooth it out, put it into that dark color, kind of melt it in there a little bit, just like that. Okay. Remember, give it a chance to dry. You'll start seeing little differences and everything. Just take your time with it. Don't rush it. Right in here like that, just like so. Now I can take a little white. I still got red on the brush here. I'm just gathering enough paint, and we'll get a nice little rim of color right on the very edge there. You don't have to do every one. A little strong rim of color and pop it right in there like that. Just like that. Okay. All right. That's not too bad for that one. Let's get some more red. Go back into my little pink color. It's gathering the smallest bits of white, not too much. Still want to maintain a lot of that red. Get a little bit of glycerin, loosen up the paint a little bit. And we're just building tones and such. Right up in here, but just kind of bring it up in here like that. Even on that edge, we'll kind of fade that in there a little bit. Just like that. You blend it right into that brightness there. You don't want it overpowering. Okay. And we'll kind of bring some of that out there like that. Just like so. Just like that. You're doing it a petal at a time. Okay, petal at a time. Right up in here. Let's show off that little fold in there like that. Just like something. Remember, this is more of a glaze than anything. Just like that. We'll kind of bring it out there. Now remember, I got my blender brush right by my side. You see how the blend smooth all that out. Very gradual. Very gradual. Look at that. Look at that blend. See how you get to play around with. See how now the fold comes out more. Okay, but it's not overpowering everything. Okay. All right. Now that we've kind of subdued a lot of that, you know how this one sticks out a little bit more, and that's fine. We might want some of this kind of poke out there, but in order for it to kind of to show that off, you just have to tone down some of the other brighter tones, just like that. So that little petal can stick out like that, but it's hidden in there. We're gonna get a little bit of maroon going, stronger maroon. Build up a shadow. Get a little bit of glycerin. All right. This guy here is underneath some of the others, so we're gonna kind of showcase that right there. And all I'm doing is getting rid of that hard edge. See that? Now this guy is on top of that guy. This petal's catching a little bit of that sunlight, and these guys are down below. Especially here where that fold is, right here. You can kind of accentuate that, just like that. All right. All right. So this fella right here, we can kind of build up off that, we can kind of help that out, just like this, going with the curve, just like so. Okay, bring it back a little bit if you have to. See how you can manipulate and move it, or you go forward. Okay, but right here, we're gonna get some shadow on the other side, so the middle, well, apparently what it will look like the middle part is catching the glow. So right underneath this petal here, all up in here. Okay, and once again, you just kind of manipulate it, bring it back, bring it forward. So now we got the glow on the top of the leaf and not necessarily. So now the shine is here instead of here or here. It's right here on the fold. Okay, and then this one here can be brought down a little bit. Bring it down, just like that. See that? And you can move it in or move it away as much as you feel you need to. Okay, just like that. All right. Right where this darkness is, right in here, we kind of bring it out a little bit like this. Just like that. Come up a little bit and it goes back down. Just like that. All right, I think that's cool. Right in here, we kind of do one of those numbers there. We still got a little white. We're gonna lighten it up a little bit. Get a little glycerin. Get a little more white. We're gonna go from the opposite end. Right about here. We're gonna kind of frame that in there like that and give it a nice little line like so. Then we just kind of get some bright highlights in there. Give it a little push and go on in there like that. A little push, go on in there. A little rim color press, make it disappear. Right in here. Give it a little push, bring it in there, get a little curve in there, just like so. Right in there like that. And we'll get one in there, get a strong little color there. And bring it up in there like that. And bring him in there like so. And we're gonna kind of smooth out that little transition of color in between the two colors there. Smooth it right out. Smooth it right out there. Okay. Just like that. But he is really, really popped out there. All right. A little more white. We'll deal with that little bit of glycerin here. A little bit of kind of pinky color here. You got a small window to get a nice good blend in, especially if you do it this way. It's very little glycerin, a lot of dry brush and fading. So it's definitely a different skill set dealing with acrylic. Right now I'm picking and choosing where I want like I said, I'm getting rid of the hard edges though. Don't need such hard edges. Smooth in some of those leading edges there. Just like that. Okay. I am picking and choosing where I really want stuff to kind of flare out at here. Now, doing it this way, all right, I got a hard edge here, but you don't necessarily need a hard edge in here. Very gradual. Just like that. And I don't, like I said, I don't have to do every leaf. Everyone's gradual. Okay. Where do I want that tendril to be today? Let's have it come from about that, about right there. Kind of fade that a little bit in there like that. You know, bring it in there, but kind of fade that in there like so. We'll start having little spiky things coming from there. We'll just get a little pink, a little bit of white, and basically off the each side like that. We stagger them like this, like that. We kind of stagger them out there. It, you know, and then it kind of narrows back like that. Okay, and we got our little, just like that, kind of bring it in there like this. Actually that looks pretty good just like that. We might even get a little brighter red right in here like this, just like that. All right, maybe in here we get it a little deeper, just like that, something like that. All right. Now we've got all sorts of mysterious little colors and such happening and going on with this thing. So we're gonna get a brush that's been a little worse for wear. Actually, I can just use this one. We got mainly two colors going on here. We can actually get away with a little bit of yellow and a white mix for the final step here. So we'll dip into our yellow, dip into our white. I'm just using the my blending brush for this part, and we'll bring gentle little yellow bits right in here. They kind of grow out on you toward the middle, and they kind of stagger toward the tip there. Same thing here, we'll bring it in there like this. Just like that, kind of bringing them out a little bit. Little tiny ones out there, and then we kind of just like so. All right. Bring some of those trails toward that way. I don't know if the focus will bring it in. There we go. So we kind of bring it in that direction. Okay. All right. That's kind of a very wild looking type of floral arrangement there. Yeah, a little different. Not really too difficult a painting. You get to see how you can bring tones into it. Let me put my name on it real quick here. I appreciate you guys spending your time with me. All right. There you go. All right. As per customary, I usually throw a border around it. I don't necessarily pull back. So with the black border, it would look somewhat like that. It would look something like so. All right. So there you have it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it helped you out and all of that. Totally different than when it first started. This is what a black background will do for you. Everything kind of pops out and recedes in different levels of blue. Okay, remember how bright these were? So you can always build upon it. Okay, and build upon it. You see different types of colors and tones going on in here with this. Okay, how some of these petals stick out more than others. Okay, got the stamen in there. So there you have it. Love to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you think, and I shall see you when I see you. Until then, peace.